People of the internet, good afternoon. How are you today? I hope you're doing great. This is another episode of Truth Be Told, where I give you my version of the truth a couple of minutes at a time, and hopefully that enlightens you and your business and how you can market it better. Today, I just wanted to quickly talk about Instagram and why we as a business at afrodynamics.com, we do not have an Instagram account. Before I get into that, I just wanted to say this episode is brought to you by afrodynamics.com, and to get episodes like these, you can see the past episodes of this program. You can go to our video section, you can see those, or you can go to our website at afrodynamics.com, and over there you'll be able to subscribe and stay up to date. We also do a live weekly show that we go into much detail. We do it every Tuesday at 10:30 in the morning. And we go into much detail about issues that are facing businesses and marketers today. So, onto Instagram. My name is Ali Kibao, by the way. Forgot to introduce myself. There we go. Instagram. Why we as a business don't do Instagram. We have an account on Instagram, but it's just to hold our name. We don't follow anyone. Nobody follows us on Instagram. See, here's the problem about us as business owners, right? We hear about things and we want to be everywhere at all times without really asking ourselves, why are we doing whatever it is that we're doing in the first place? Especially when it comes to social media and just digital marketing in general, because there's always a new shiny object, right? And that was Instagram for us. Now, personally, I use Instagram a lot. I follow a lot of my friends. I have a lot of followers on Instagram, and I do Instagram stories almost every day. So if you want, you can follow me on Instagram at Ali Kibao. But as a business, we made a deliberate decision not to be on Instagram. Here's why. And perhaps this will enlighten you as well on your decisions and whether you need to be on any given platform. This doesn't just have to be Instagram. So we looked at, the 80-20 rule. 20% of what you do normally brings you 80% of the results you see. So 20% of your customers usually bring you 80% of your business, as well as 20% of your marketing efforts usually bring you 80% of your sales. So we looked at that 80-20 rule, universal rule, if you can call it that, and we looked at what brings us the most lucrative business, right? What brings us the clients, the kinds of clients that we would like to work with. And this was not on our social channels. Now that sounds a bit awkward and weird for a digital marketing company. It's just that nobody is hiring anyone because of the social media process, at least not in our case. We're beginners, we didn't have a name. Now, that's not to say that Instagram is absolutely useless and you shouldn't do Instagram, but at the stage of business where we were a year ago, we had to evaluate that. And instead of doing Instagram, and this is something that you really as a business owner also need to think about. Instead of doing Instagram, we decided that the same amount of effort that it would take us to run a successful Instagram business account could be spent elsewhere and bring us even better business. So why do we have to do Instagram in the first place? A lot of times we want to do these things just because other people are doing it, and maybe if we don't do it, I don't know what it is that we're scared of just not doing things. We end up doing too many things and then do none of them right. The whole analogy of going a mile wide and an inch deep, that's exactly what we do with social networks. Now, that's not to say that it's not good to experiment with these platforms. I experiment with almost every single platform that comes out. I look at it, I see what it is, I see if we can use it for our clients, I see if we can use it for ourselves at afrodynamics.com. That's not always the case. And the distinction, what can help you decide between using a platform and not using a platform, is simply asking yourself, why do we need to be on this platform? First of all, what are we trying to achieve? And the same amount of effort, can it be invested elsewhere? Effort, money, time, you name it. Can it be invested elsewhere and maybe bring better results? That's been another episode of Truth Be Told. I believe this is episode number 4. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you go to afrodynamics.com and subscribe to stay on top of your game and ahead of your competition. Until next time, bye-bye.